Hi everyone. I wanted to make this video because I wanted to tell you guys a story of how I came to become a mechanic. When I was 18 years old, my dad had a van that wouldn't want to start, and so he was taking it to a shop, and I asked him why. He said, well, you know what, Mija, it doesn't want to start. I'm not really sure why. You know, I'm not, like, he used to do backyard stuff, like brakes, spark plugs or whatever, but not, like, he didn't know how to diagnose or whatever. So he said, you know, I'm going to take it to the shop because it doesn't want to start, and I'm going to see what's wrong with it. So I told him, Dad, well, like, whatever they tell you, like, will you know, like, if it's, like, for reals? Like, how does that work? Like, and he said, you know what, Mija, honestly, he's like, I don't know if it's for reals, whatever they will tell me. He's like, to me, I mean, I don't know how to diagnose. A car not being able to start can be a million things, you know, and only the mechanic knows, and he'll charge whatever he thinks is best, you know, or whatever he wants to charge, you know, out of his, you know, conscience or heart or whatever. So to me, it kind of, it was enough for me to feel like it's not something that I wanted my dad to have to go through. Okay, turn it off. Okay. I wanted to make this video because I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about my heart. The reason why is because everything I'm going through right now is due to the freaking curse of my freaking heart. So the story is about how I came to become a mechanic, and the reason why. The reason why was when I was 18 years old, my dad took one of our cars to a mechanic shop because it didn't want to start. I asked him, you know, why did he decide to take the car? If I remember my dad used to be able to do things like, you know, maintenance to the cars, and he said, you know, he didn't know why the car didn't want to start, but all he knew is that it needed to be diagnosed, and only a mechanic, you know, like an experienced mechanic would be able to do that. So to me, it just seemed a little like, okay, like I was very confused. I remember being like, okay, well, my dad knows how to do, you know, spark plugs, brakes, you know, maintenance. He doesn't know how to diagnose. He's gonna take it to a shop. They're gonna diagnose it for him. I told him, well, Dad, how do you know if the diagnosis that the mechanic tells you is real? You know, because like you hear a lot about how shady mechanics are. And he said, you know, truthfully, Mija, I don't know. All I can do is just take it because I don't know. So that was enough for me to feel like it kind of sucked that my dad had to take his car and trust someone that he really didn't know to tell him, hey, this is what's wrong with your car, when there was a possible chance that maybe it wasn't that. Maybe it was, you know, something minor, and, you know, they end up charging you like an arm and a leg. So I remember telling my dad, you know what, Dad, I would like to be the family's mechanic, you know, like I want to go to school, like, because at that time, you know, you're 18, you're trying to see what career you're gonna, you know, take, and, you know, so that's the path I wanted to take. I wanted to be the family's mechanic because we don't have a mechanic in our family. But of course my dad was like, no, Mija, please don't do that to me, like, that's not a world I want you to be a part of. You know, you're just a kid. I was 18, so, you know, I can understand that my dad didn't want me to do that. So, you know, I waited until I was old enough to think, okay, you know, like, that's it, this is it, you know. And it was 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 23, right? 23? 24.
20.
I waited about 5 years to actually think to myself, okay, well, I'm older now, like, Dad, I'm not 18, like, I'm old enough now to go to school and, you know, be a part of that world, and, like, you don't have to be scared anymore, like, I'm an adult now, you know. So I mean, I know at 18 you're supposed to be an adult, but we all know that 18-year-olds are not adults. But, you know, at 24 you're kind of like a semi-adult. So I told him, you know what, Dad, like, I'm gonna go to school to become a mechanic now because I want to be the family's mechanic. So he still wasn't very happy about it, but, you know, I went. So I went to ELAC. I studied automotive, and before you know it, I got hired at Hollywood Toyota as a mechanic, and yeah, that's how I came to be. But the reason why I'm telling you guys this is because I want you guys to know that it was my heart for my dad and my family that made me want to do something to help them, you know, just like how I'm trying to do now for the whole LUZ crap. Like sometimes I think, man, this is crap, you know, like why am I doing all this crap? Like why am I going through so much, you know? But it's just in my heart, you know, like I don't know. I just wanted you guys to know that, so you guys could kind of know a little bit of like how my freaking heart works and how just it is for me, and how like it's always something that drives me to make my moves in life, and it's because of just it always has to work around impacting like me helping someone, or me feeling for someone, or me wanting to do for someone, you know, whether it's my family or, you know, a stranger, you know, which in this case it's about 600,000 strangers, you know, that I don't know. But you know, I just wanted to tell you guys a little bit about that, to see if maybe you guys could kind of understand that I'm not just some psychotic parent thinking that, you know, LUSD screwing over my kid and that's it. You know, it's not like that. It's my heart versus, you know, their evilness, and just kind of like how those mechanics, it was like those mechanics versus, you know, my dad, you know. And I want you guys to know that like now I work on all of my family's cars, like every single one of them, well except for one of them, but that's just because they like to work on their own cars. But I don't ever let any one of my siblings or people that I know that, you know, like are real close to me, take their cars to a, you know, shitty mechanic. I work on their cars. Like right now, like I'm working on somebody's car right now. I'm doing a valve cover gaskets, and you know, it's not an easy job. It's super freaking hard, and it takes a lot of time, and you know, it's a lot of work, but it's something that, you know, I do for people that I love, because you know, I don't want a shady freaking mechanic to screw them over, you know. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say.